That was said in Tafshin Tezvov, Shabbos Hazon. It has historic background. There was a sudden Farbrengen then. He didn't expect a Farbrengen. In those years, the Rebbe did not make a Farbrengen Shabbos Hazon. Started actually in the early 70s, actually in 1970. And the Rebbe sat down in Shul at a certain point near the windows there. The Rebbe sat down and he spoke a Sicha and he spoke a Mamar.
What year was this?
This is in 1955. The Mamar came out later. It's a Mamar based on the Alter Rebbe's Mamar, and the Mamar came out later, a Mamar from the Alter Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe's cover of the Mamar, which is Tziyim B'Mishpat Pada. Similar to the Mamar of the Potato. It could even be that the Mamar of the Potato is based on that. But it's a Mamar the Rebbe spoke then about the elections in Israel. There was a whole thing over there that the Rebbe wanted to state a certain point that he made in that Farbrengen, which when you'll see the Farbrengen, it was a short Farbrengen. It's quite obvious that something was going on in Israel then, in Israel. But the whole way from the Rebbe says then the Mamar, and it was an unexpected Farbrengen. I think it was elections or something, or it was mitzad the Frumepes, mitzad the different parties voting. I don't know, there's something going on there. I don't remember at this point. But there's a few statements that Rebbe made, and it could even be that some things they didn't put in either, but there was something hot going on. Tafshin Tezvov was 2 years before a year and a half before the Sinai campaign, but there was politics in the government. There was something with the government there, and went out. But the whole way from it. So this was a sudden union, and later it was Muga. It's actually not Muga. So this is the Mamar the way the Rebbe said it, and then there's a Mamar how it was printed. Usually, if the Rebbe would say a Mamar based on a Mamar of a previous Rebbe, in those years it was the Rebbe Rashab quite often. The Rebbe would then publish the Rebbe Rashab's Mamar, and would write in the beginning, in the introduction, that this Mamar, the Mamar of the past Shabbos, was based on this Mamar. Al-Pi Bakosas Rabbim was given to print. Till this day, we have no idea who are the Rabbi. Who are the Rabbi that asked for it? Nobody had any idea on on which Mamar the Rebbe's Mamar was based. That was Al-Pi Bakosas Rabbi. Sometimes it's in there, or the Maila, right? So B'Meila Bakosas Rabbi, it was printed, and then a person studied the Mamar. So this is how many of these booklets came out. Alter Rebbe's Maimorim, the Mittel Rebbe, the Rebbe Rashab's very often, Rebbe Marash Maimorim, and that's how in those years it was shaykh to keep up with learning, with up to date with learning all the Maimorim of the Rabbeim, because whatever was printed one by one, you could have learned B'Shas Maisa after that Farbrengen. This was a surprise Farbrengen. This was Shabbos Hazon, and they say that the main part of the Farbrengen, the main reason was possible because of the statement that Rebbe made then in regards to a certain inyan that was taking place in Israel. It's printed in the Sichas Kedesh, it's printed already in Hebrew, so it's coming as Nachot. So the Meilah, the Rebbe starts the Mamar with the Haftarah of Shabbos Hazon, Shabbos Dvorim, Shabbos Hazon. The Haftarah ends with the Pasuk Tziyim B'Mishpat Pada V'Shaver B'Tzedakah. That Tziyim will be redeemed with Mishpat, with judgment, and Shaver, or captives, will be freed, released with charity. So the Rebbe begins the Mamar in the Yodua, the Yerida on Neshama Beguf, or Yerida Tzerech Aliyah. The Yerida of the Neshama in the Guf is a descent for the purpose of ascending, elevation after that. The Af Asher Gam Belavochi Hini HaNeshama Solo B'Machshava, that although the Neshamas already before their descent come from the level of Machshava, of the thought in the higher heavens, Mikol Makim Hini Al Yedei Al Yerida Al Yosam Olamayla Al Yena Yesef. Through the Yerida, through the descent, so they elevate even to a higher level. And the Alter Rebbe begins explaining. We say, says the Rebbe explains that we say in the Neshama Shanasata be the Neshama that you gave, you instilled in me Tahira, she's pure. This goes on the source of the Neshama before the Neshama enclosed in the Guf. This is what it's referred to Tahira. She b'chinas Tahira. She b'chinas Tahira Ilah. Connected. There was a Maisa once by the Rebbe in the first years. So between the Sichas, sometimes the Rebbe would ask about certain people, or would speak with people privately. There was one time the Rebbe asked the person, where is this and this person? By Fabrengen. We're talking about all-nighter Fabrengen, like 2 in the morning. The Rebbe would ask, where's this person? So the person told the Rebbe that this person was here earlier and he left. So the Rebbe says, earlier everybody was here. The Rebbe says, Neshama shenasata bi tahira. The Rebbe says, the question is, we're there now. The brave hadrush mevuer, the bchinas tahiri, koyal shor shabatzilus. Most of the Maimorim Chassid discourses, it's mentioned that the tahira goes on the root in Atzilus. Omnam kemesha mevuer b'Maimar zeh, it's understood in the Maimar of the Alter Rebbe, hakavone b'tahira hi koyal neshama kemesha hi b'tahiru ilah kedem atzimtzum. That the neshama, this refers to the root and source of the neshama, as the neshama finds itself before the tzimtzum, before the contraction, before the beginning of the creation of worlds. The descent of the neshama that came down in Elam Abriya, and then Barosa, and then Yitzarta, which is Yitzira, which is Asiya, Shahu Yiridas HaNeshama, the Slavish Baguf. This is the descent of the neshama to enclose in the body, the Yerida Zui Tzerach Aliyah. This descent is for the purpose of elevation. Shanasa Bo Aliyah L'maylam B'chinas Tehiru Ilah. That there is an elevation in the neshama which is even more yet than the original place where the neshama comes from. V'hinei Kozman Shaneshama B'kirbi Meidan Nilefanecha. So this is the end of the bracha, the bracha of neshama Shanasatabi. This Eidah, this commitment, is found in every Yid. The Eidah ain't the Mashem Masik Shehu Kain. We say one person admits to the other, consents to the other. So it's not, this Eidah is not a regular Eidah. There's a Eidah that one person understands the other person's logic, and he consents to the other person. He gives in to the other person. Here, the union of Eidah, the Tachlis Hashleimus of Eidah is that it's higher than Seichel. Like we find, Chassidus brings the example, Meidim Chachomim Rab Meir. So we say that the MS, what Chachomim consented to Rab Meir, although Leyomdo Chachomim al Seif Daite. They had no idea, Pasha, to understand the depth of Rab Meir's mind. On the other hand, we say Meidim Chachomim, they're Meidim. So it's a union, there's a union of a door consenting, giving in, although they don't logically understand what it is, but they just feel it's something beyond their understanding. This is called hate shebehate, is referred to like that it's a inyan which is completely not the inyan of seichel, not based on seichel. So the Alter Rebbe says this is the inyan of a dor. This is found by every Yid, and as the Rebbe explains in Mamar Mavachan Shal Pesach that this inyan of a dor, netzach and hate, which are the two attributes that relate to the Zman HaGolus, the time of Golus, it relates to the Aveda of Golus because of the darkness of Golus. The only way to approach the Golus is not with logic, not with emotions, but with natzchanos, waging an offensive against the darkness, against Golus. So what are the two attributes that reflect this war? It's netzach, which is being victorious, waging the war and building up, mobilizing and preparing for the war in the most efficient way. And together with that, the inyan of hate, which is the inyan of bittul. The bittul, which is also mitzad zman hagolus. V'lachein ze nimtzei kol echad ve'echad misrael. It's found by every Yid. Now the Rebbe is explaining why do we need Heidah. Heidah, admitting, consenting, means when there's two different opinions, and one holds one thing, the other one holds different. So then you need a consenting. Question is, why do we need consenting here? That we are admitting to the Eibishter. That we admit consent to him, but it's not shaykh to say a controversy. This is not two counterparts that are equal one to another. And also it's not shaykh mitzad minim, mitzad teichem, mitzad kanten. It is not a machlekes in the guf ha'inyan, but it's a machlekes in the approach, in the sense, in the feeling, in the way they